purpose of this call is basically to demonstrate the capabilities of the integration and probably the best practice, or or the first steps that need to be taken to get the chart calculator all set up and working for you as quick as possible.
Yes.
Now, if you obviously, if you want individual call, because individual calls, onboarding calls, are more customized, obviously, then we can discuss what specific platforms you guys use, and I can answer questions individually, so you can feel free. I'm sharing right now the link in the chat. You can copy and save this chart, and you can go ahead and schedule the individual onboarding session if you still feel that you need one after this general onboarding presentation. It's more presentation, generic, as I said. For every onboarding session, I'm choosing the different platform to integrate the chart and connect the newsletter. And for the days, I have a classic WordPress, and also I have a MailChimp. So I will start sharing the screen with you guys, and we'll begin the presentation. 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So when you're starting the subscription, obviously, if you're super business minded, you can have integration. You can jump into the integration step right away. And to have a calculator on your website is as easy just as few minutes job. But very often, like obviously, it's going to be set up with the default colors. This is my testing account, so bear in mind it's a lot of mess here. I tried to tidy up before the meeting so it wouldn't be too messy. But you can integrate chart pretty much straight away, but it's going to be in, as I said, default colors. Our default colors like very earthy, brownish, greenish colors. So if you don't mind, just for that initial launch, that's okay, because you can adjust the colors at any time. But very often our customers starting integration with actually first designing the chart how they want it to look. So the first step when you're starting subscription would be going to My Charts Design and creating new design. We will create something right now very quickly. I will show you what you can design here. So you can design how the chart looks like. Obviously, you can choose the colors, the fonts here. Let's choose something dramatic a little bit, different. So I will save it so you would see the difference. This is exactly my design, but not just the chart itself. Like if you are integrating astrology, obviously this is the place as well where you will be customizing astrology chart, and some important settings are here as well, especially for astrology. It's a house system here listed, so need to make sure that you are selecting the house system that you prefer to work with, and also the orbs settings here, the other settings, the color settings here, and another important thing is the birth submission form. Why is it loading so slow? I hope this is not going to crash on my end. My Wi-Fi is okay. Okay, so bear with me a second. Okay, I did something wrong probably. Okay, so as I mentioned, very important as well, this is the place where you can design how the submission form will look like. And for example, date format. So we know that all over the world, the date format is different. Maybe in Europe, we're not used to AM, PM. So you can turn that off by choosing 24 hours format. Or overseas in the US, we used to more that the month goes first rather than day and year. In Europe, we used to go with the day first and month and year. So this is the place where you can customize that. And the most important settings are here as well, such as, for example, enabling email fields so you could capture the leads. Also, any button colors, this design is for the visual part. You cannot actually at the design change any wording. Wording comes from the My Content tool, so it's the different tool. We're talking right now about the visual part, the design, the colors, fonts, and the layout, how it's going to look like. Same with the chart result page. This is the place where you can design how it's going to look like. So it's not the 100% actual visualization how it's going to look like on your website, because it will depend on the language that you will use at your website, but it's just the presentation, how it possibly will look like. As I said, text does not really play any role in the design tool. It's just a placeholder to say how or where it's going to be placed. But some other settings, the layout settings, are very important, and probably most important at the chart result is whether you want the reports to be presented above the chart, so they come first into your face basically when you're generating the chart, or you want them to be below the chart, and other colors scheme. Now also when you will start the integration, what's going on? Are the developers working with the tool, or something's going on with my account? That's not good. Okay, let's see if that's going to save. Now, as I said, the text part, and I mean text meaning every single possible text. Yeah, something's not quite right with my account probably. So I mean everything, the little labels, the copyright text, the form labels, every text part coming from my content tool. So by the default, of course, your integrate chart will have English language attached, meaning that you can go into the English language and make any adjustments. For example, hide some properties that you don't wish to show on the result page by clicking I icon, or changing the wording of the labels. Maybe you want as well change the wording of the button. So all of the textual part from the chart comes from here. And the good thing is also that you can export language. For example, so when you will start subscription, obviously you will have more languages here available. This is my testing account, so I don't have all possible language that we have, but usually we have a traditional Chinese, Polish, Italian, Spanish, Mexico, Dutch, German language available. So you might want to actually use that and assign to your integration. And also good thing is that you can also export the language. That will download for you the Excel file, make your own translations, edits at the Excel file, which is way faster than, for example, pressing pencil by pencil and editing individually. That Excel file will allow you to edit very comfortable within the Excel file fields, maybe using some tools such as AI or ChatGPT, and then you can import the file back when it's ready. That will create completely new language, which you can then use for your integration and for your reports. Now, whatever you will create here, whether it's going to be languages, designs, reports, or anything else, is only accessible to you. No one can access it, and no one can use your content. So if you will create something unique language, unique terminology, or unique design, that's going to be accessible just for you, and you can only use that at your website. So once you have a design and adjustments to the language ready, the next part would be to actually creating the embed code. Now, once you will start the subscription, you probably will have just one embed code, which is going to be default embed code. I have here multiple embed codes, and you can create multiple codes if you want to have, for example, multiple integrations. You're allowed to have multiple integrations as long as it's within, for example, same domain or subdomains. Additional domains, if you're running, for example, multiple websites and you want to have integration to multiple websites, then means you would need additional subscriptions for each different domain. But if you, for example, running, and if your niche is divided, let's just say you're working with the generic human design readings and also your sub niche, let's say children, and you want to separate that, absolutely fine. Create new embed code, which is going to be dedicated specifically for children, and leave the default, for example, for the generic. And you can embed a chart twice into two different landing pages, which is one going to be dedicated, let's say, for the generic human design or astrology, and another one, let's say, for the children. So you can have multiple integrations. And my suggestion would be, especially if you're running with multiple integrations, multiple designs, name everything the same title. So it's easy. Like if I did right now the onboarding, for example, design, so probably the new imported language that with my edits I will rename onboarding. So I know it's dedicated for my onboarding, for example, embed code. Let's just say I will rename it right now this to onboarding. So it's going to be, I know that, this is linked to that design and that language. Also, when you're creating the embed code, you can choose whether you want a standalone embed code for example, just human design or just astrology, or maybe just transit or just relationship, or you can mix and match and have multiple chart calculators within one integration. What that gives for your clients an opportunity to choose from the drop down which chart they want to calculate when they will provide a date of birth and, for example, location. So once the embed code is ready, my onboarding embed code created, now all I have to do is just to go and say that, okay, I want to use my onboarding design. And if I created new language, that means I'll go and choose the onboarding language. This is the first few preparation steps. Not necessity, not mandatory to create a design and language, because you can have a chart calculator, for example, generic chart calculator, as I said, in the default colors in English standard language, or German language, whichever you want from the My Content that is available at your account, and have integration very quickly. But if you super specific and say like, no, my chart should match my website layout or color scheme, then these steps are very important to create that design, make little adjustments. And once you set up and saying for your embed code, okay, this is the design that I want to use, this is the language that I want to use, now the embed code is ready for the integration. So integration is pretty easy. It's just copying and pasting embed code into your websites, either the text, HTML, embed code, source code, or code block. So that significantly varies depending on the website builder that you're using. Today I will be using it for example, classic WordPress, so it's going to be a text field. And also it's very important that if you, for example, build your website on Wix, means you need to switch and use the different embed code, because the website is simply reading the embeds differently, and we have dedicated embed code for Wix platform. But in today's video, I will use any website. This embed code works with majority of the website builders. And if you will go to the Help Center, we have a dedicated group of articles for the chart integration. And under the integration subgroup, we have most used platforms by our customers, such as GoDaddy, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, WordPress, and System. So these are the step-by-step guides, and at the end, the video tutorial on how to actually get the chart calculator onto each of these platforms. For me, I just copy the embed code, and as I said, my one will be a classic WordPress. This is the classic WordPress backend. I already created the page for this onboarding just to save time for this onboarding demonstration purposes. Obviously, this I'm not going to create a design. My one is super messy. I can include, for example, some images if I would like to. This website, I also can include and build some visuals, maybe some texts as well. Get your chart here, introduction, explanations, and everything. But most important thing, when I'm pasting the embed code into classic WordPress, that I need to change it to text field and paste my embed code in here. The visual field does not recognize the embed code, and it simply won't work. And then what is left to do for me is actually publish the page or update the page in my case, because it's already ready. Now, if your website is built on WordPress, but using theme such as Elementor, Divi, or other similar themes, then embedding will be slightly different. Those themes usually have a drag and drop sections, the blocks as well, and they usually is called as the code, the source code, HTML field. So that means you would need to add the block, drag and drop block and section where you want your chart to appear, and then copy and paste that embed code into that block. That code, HTML code or source code block, is the one that reads the code or recognizes the embed code. So let's go and have a look how my prepared onboarding page looks like. Now, this is a prior embedding. So if I will refresh the page, it should show right now my chart integration. It takes some time to load, but here is the integration is already ready. Now, because on the design, I already enabled email field, meaning that I will capture the emails straight away. If someone will run the chart, and this is the sequence of the events. Customers on your website will come, will have to provide the details in order to generate the chart for themselves. And if you're enabling any reports, that will be automatically generated for them at the result page and listed as the widgets underneath the chart or above the chart. But I don't have the reports just yet. I will show you slightly later how. So here it is listed in my design. Obviously, you can create it way better than mine, and it's misaligned, but you get the idea how the integration works. Now, as I said, because I have email field enabled, meaning that I will capture the leads pretty much straight away at the statistics. So all of my leads and generations will be captured here. Now, the issue, not the issue, but the way the system is built, because we cannot store all the data forever, basically, we capture the details and keeping here for 90 days only, meaning that the older submission, when it hits that 90 days mark, it gets deleted from our servers, and then you can't restore the lead. So how to collect it for longer or keep it for as long as the customer will not unsubscribe, for example, is by connecting any newsletter platform or data collection app at the My App section. And we're coming to the second part of the or second step of the integration. And why is it important? So lead collection and building your customer base is super, super important for your marketing purposes. Maybe in the beginning, when you're just launching, obviously you will be just collecting the data and collecting, because the connection with newsletter platform will allow you not just collect simple email that you see at the statistics and their name. It will allow you as well to collect their additional data, such as their date of birth, link to their chart, their type, their strategy, authority, meaning that every email sequence that you will build will allow you include this information to the emails. And they will feel way more personalized than generic advertising newsletters, which people tend to ignore. But whilst you're mentioning their name, their date of birth, link to their chart, this is also a very important feature, that you can collect the link to the chart, which does not expire, meaning you can set up the initial automation, Bodygraph does not send any emails on the chart generation or the free reports, but with the newsletter platform, you would be able to set up that initial email. For example, thank you for generating your chart. This is the link to your chart, and include the chart URL, meaning you're kind of locking in the customer with you, right? Because the customer, when they will come across the human design or astrology topic somewhere in the event with the friends, with the family, they know that they have their chart usually in their email in the mobile device, and they can access it without submitting form again with one click basically. Whilst if you're not sharing that or do not have that automation, most likely person, okay, remembers that they generated chart somewhere. Most likely they will not remember that website where they generated the chart, meaning they will end up Googling it, for example, and ending up with other readers. So it is important actually to set up this automation and send that initial welcome email with the link to their chart. And in today's video, I chose specifically to connect MailChimp. This is one of the integration that we have. We have a lot of integrations with the newsletter and data storage apps. And again, at the same help center, we have the guides for all of these apps, the step-by-step guides, how to connect them, and it's pretty easy if you're following step by step. And these platforms are the ones that probably most of our customers uses. Now, if you cannot find the platform that you use, there's still a chance that you might actually connect using the Zapier or the webhook and platform make.com as a bridge. So if your platform is not listed here, and you know that your platform is compatible with Zapier, or for example make.com and webhook, means that you can still use that as a mid app to transfer the leads into your third-party app. Ideally, if you didn't make up your mind which app you will use just yet, so ideally you would like probably to choose what we have direct integrations with. Personally, we do recommend Kit. Kit is free to begin with, so if you're just starting the business, it's free to start a subscription, and collect the data is also free. You only will, I think even one automation or one email is absolutely free, if I do remember correctly with Kit. But if you want to set up the email sequences, then you will need to upgrade to the paid subscription. So really generous. I think that welcome email would be included in the first Kit subscription, free subscription. So, and it's pretty easy to use once you go through there as well, help articles, and understand how automations actually work there. I would say for everything, not just Bodygraph, but any other system, website, platform, it only takes very first time to struggle or to maybe, be frustrated, while you will actually figure out how to set it up. Every other, connection set up, the report that you will build, it's just going to get easier, quicker, and way, better to set up. So let's go ahead and, for example, connect MailChimp. Now, again, I do recommend when you connecting the apps, name them exactly as the app name. So that's going to be very easy to recognize them at the integration. Now it asks me to find the API key. So I already logged in. Oh, 1 second. And let me see why it logged me out. To the MailChimp. Okay, so right now I will need to find an API key. It's been a while I did the tutorial on the help center, so I don't exactly remember correctly, but usually, depending on which app, obviously we have a guides for the app, but usually the API keys will be listed somewhere under developers dashboard or billing and account settings. So I will go to my account and I probably will check the billing, because if I remember that is somewhere here, and I need to look something that says either the API dashboard, developers dashboard, or API keys. And this is what I need to look for, API keys under extras. Okay, so I will go under extras, API keys. It's been a while that I used this account. Okay, so probably I had quite a few API keys that I created previously for my previous, for example, testings. But if you just, for example, starting app, you might not have a API key, so you might need to actually create a new API key. So I will go ahead and create new one for this purpose and copy and paste it into that My App connection. Okay, so test the connection and it says that it's successful. Now, not all apps, some of the apps will require you to connect the list or the form, some of them nothing there. In this case, in the MailChimp connection today, it asks me to connect the list. Now, I have a generic list, Human Design by Vicky at MailChimp, because it's free account and MailChimp allows to create just one list, and this is just one list. Now, if you have a paid subscription, for example, with MailChimp, it will allow you to create a different lists, and maybe you have different incoming subscribers, let's say from social media than from Bodygraph, and you might want to actually separate them. So then it's a good idea to go to MailChimp and create completely different, for example, list that says that it's Bodygraph, for example, subscribers. I can also choose if I want to attach some tags. Now, what's the difference between the tags? And not all the apps allows to select tags, simply because of the functionality of the app. Not all the apps have the tags, but if they do, that means you can attach the tag to incoming subscriber, such as the profile, they may be an authority or whatever. So tags allow you to sort the subscribers and send super targeted emails, for example, just for generators, or just for the profile 3.5, or just for that and that. So that makes super focused marketing, and that means that you can include information. If you're sending it for the generators, you say like, oh, did you know, guys, did you know that you are actually a generator? Most likely you will come across this and this challenge in your life, or you gifted with this and this gift in your life. So it's super personalized, targeted email, whilst the custom field is information about that specific customer. So you're getting their precise date of birth or place of birth or the link to the chart. So that means you can include this information into the template that you're sending for them, and you say, hello blank, I just noticed that your birthday is on that and that date, meaning that you are, for example, type generator. So include that information into the template that you're sending. So this one will allow you to sort it. This one will allow you to include that information into customers' emails. Now, very often, and this is most common, probably troubleshooting mistake that customers do, after selecting the list and all of the custom fields and tags, customers tend to forget to click save first and clicking send test data straight away. If that's the case, most likely the system will just shoot the error out, and that's not going to work. So need to save the selections first and just then send test data. Now my one already, I used already this MailChimp account, so it says that with Alex account, this is the testing data is already at my MailChimp, so it does not resend the same test data, but it's a good indicator because it reads that it's already there, meaning that connection is successful. Now I need to make that app talk to my integration. As you can see, the red indicator, and this applies for all designs, languages, reports. Red indicator shows that it's not live on any embed coach just yet. If you will hover over the indicator, it will tell you as well the names which embed codes at the moment uses, for example, integration. So my MailChimp is not live. Means I need to go into the integration. I will go specifically to that embed code that we created today for this onboarding session, apps, and I will enable specifically MailChimp here. I got quite a few apps here. So now means that every single time someone runs the chart on my website, that email will end up to my MailChimp. Let's go to the onboarding landing page and let's run the test with some super obvious email just to see if that goes into the MailChimp. And let's say onboarding test. Okay. And once it's generated, now I can go into my MailChimp. Usually it happens instantly, but some apps, especially if the Zapier used or the webhook as a bridge, it can be slight delays, sometimes even a minute or two delays while the subscriber comes through. So as you can see in this case, because it's direct integration, that onboarding test went through straight away. And as you can see right now, I have a tags attached for the type and profile. That's what I selected. And if I will click into it, I also will see all additional information that I collected about the customer. That includes as well link to the customer's charts now, which I can go into my automations and set up the welcome email and include that. You don't need manually copy and paste it. When you will build the automations, again, the guidance will vary significantly from platform to platform. But usually it's also called a shortcodes, or some platforms call it inserts. So means that it will allow you to include like a shortcodes with the curly brackets that will say, for example, curly bracket, chart underscore URL, curly bracket. Now, I don't remember exactly how the MailChimp includes, for example, active campaign, if I do remember correctly, it says percent symbol, chart underscore URL, percent symbol. That short code or that code, depending on the platform, automatically picks up within email template customers link. So you don't need actually manually copy and paste it, but system automatically picks up, for example, if the test right now, this customer will receive an email, that shortcode will automatically demonstrate their link to the chart within an email. So here you go. We completed the step 2. Now the step 3 would be release what is already available within the reports. Now we have quite a few templates. And what is Bodygraph? Bodygraph is the tool to provide you automation, but also we're giving enough content to actually start selling and offering something for free to attract the leads, whilst you're building your own unique reports with your own content, niche related reports. So what we have ready, we have lead magnets. Now, if you're in quantum human design language, then we have a current quantum human design mini report, which we offer to use it as a freebie to attract people into your calculator. We also have mini relationship, health mini report. Again, that doesn't mean you need to offer them for free. Quite often I see that customers also selling these reports, and it's okay if that's your choice. We have, if you also have relationship integration, we have right now, and especially Valentine's Day is approaching. So if you about to set up your integration, we do actually advise to have relationship integration or landing page for Valentine's Day and have a separate embed code for relationships, and Valentine's Day freebie, which offers the date suggestion for type combinations, and also mini relationship report. So this is a good event to run. Maybe, I don't know, sell it for, I don't know, $10, $20, whichever you feel is comfortable for you. And that's perfect event just to attract the people, collect some leads, and generate some revenue. These are all already with the content. All you need to do is click on the report, select preferred format, either A4 or letter, and install into your editor. After installation, it will become ready at your editor, meaning that you can open the report, make adjustments, maybe change the colors to your branding colors, add your logos. This is like my testing logo, add additional information to make it look more like yours, and then release it for the customers. Apart from lead magnets, we also have a quite detailed report. So one in a quantum human design language currents report, and one Midnight Dunes report, which is quite good mid-range report. Customers usually selling it somewhere between $35 to $50. So selling 2 reports a month already will pay back pretty much your subscription price. So, and they have a similar structure, type, profile, authority, and defined centers. Again, you can install it and make adjustments. Now, the only difference with the current reports is that it's copyrighted, meaning that you can only edit first and the last page of the report to add your branding and your cover page and your, I don't know, credentials, links to your booking calendars, but the content itself is locked and not editable. The other reports, such as Midnight Dunes, health, or relationships, fully editable, so that means you can fully customize them. We also have some premium reports, and some of them are also translated in a different language. So look at that prior to the installation. Not all of them, though, are translated into the different languages, but most of our templates are in English language. And if you see this little crown sign, that means it's a premium report. Premium report requires a single payment for the installation. After installation, you can duplicate, for example, multiply, make various versions of it. So this content is not free. Again, not necessity to purchase the report straight away. But maybe once you will start generating some revenue, probably most detailed generic report, and I mean generic is not specifically niche. For example, talent blueprint and business compass is probably for people who are working more with entrepreneurs, with businesses, while if you're doing more generic readings, so then it's probably Universe is the most completed report that we have with all the content in it. And it has the type, profile, authority, definition, channels, gates, centers, quite a lot. Incarnation cross as well included in that report. So it's like saves basically your time of building it yourself, but it's not necessary because our tools allows you to build the report yourself as well. Now, we do get that sometimes customers say, well, these reports are not, for example, what I offer for niche. Yes, that's correct. But as long as you're communicating for your niche, that this is the new integration and this is what I have to offer while I'm cooking something amazing behind the scenes, it's absolutely fine because it's customers' choice whether they want to buy the report or not. If you're communicating within your launch or your social media that, you know, maybe my niche specifically is businesses, entrepreneurs, for example. But so how does it make sense if I will release, for example, relationship or health? But well, if you're not successful in relationship and you're devastated and you're in a bad health, probably you will not succeed in your business. But you can deliver it through that lens. But also you can say that these are the products that I have to offer now. It just comes just for your own knowledge, your own choice if you want to purchase and find out a little bit about yourself, while I'm building something super niche and so super niche related reports. And it's okay, it's important what you're actually communicating for the customers. So now we have like quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free reports that comes already with the content, can be installed, edited to match your branding, and released through your integration. Releasing is as easy as just going again to your embed code. I like to call embed code like a remote control or control panel, because you're coming here always and saying, okay, embed code, okay, my chart, I want to use this language, okay, I want to use this, or I want to connect with this app, or I want to right now this and that and this report to go live on my integration. So this is like a control, and you don't need to re-embed the chart because it automatically updates the chart that is on the website. So now if I will refresh the result page, the report automatically pops up, and they already generated based on the customer's date of birth and location, so customer can go and purchase it. Now if you will, this is easy when you want to enable them and they are free, so you just come and toggle on basically a freebie. Now if you want to sell the report, you also will need to connect the payment app, and we have quite a few integrations with probably biggest payment handling platforms. So you would need to connect the payment app, and once the payment app is connected, all you will have to do is come and set up the payment, select the payment app, give it the price, select the currency that you want to sell it at. Now if you do not see your local currency or currency that you would like to sell it at, you can always reach out to Bodygraph and we will add that currency for you. And once the price is set, that report widget becomes buy now button instead of download button, and customers can buy these reports. Now, how the reports are customized, like how that picks up the information, where the automation coming from, and this is probably the main feature of the automation that I will show you in a second. So once you're building the report, and our pre-made report as well, they're already set up with all the page visibility. Each page got this little rectangle which says visible for everyone. So generic pages such as cover page, maybe I got some like extra pages here, I was showing something for customer. What's human design page? I don't know, about me page, chart page. Chart is already dynamic. Chart is changes based on customer's date of birth and location. Of course, you want everyone to get that into their PDFs when they will generate the report. So you will keep it visible for everyone. But once you will start building the content for, let's say, specific type, as in this case, I have a page dedicated for the generator, means I need to click the rectangle and select the type, generator. So what system does, and I can build, as you can see, the list is quite big. I can build for each type of profile, for each gate, definition, incarnation, cross centers, planet, gates per planet per conscious unconscious sign, you know, so there is a big list on what you can build. Same for the astrology, zodiac signs, the house systems, zodiac signs per house. So, you know, you can build a very detailed report, and when someone runs that chart on the website, or you can also test it at the preview and provides the details. Once that file in PDF is generated for them to download or purchase, it combines, cherry picks and combines pages that are generic, visible for all, and then it picks up customers' activation. This date of birth that I tested earlier is manifestor, so that way it picks up manifestor's page with emotional authority, with profile 5.1, and as you can see, I don't see any other pages, other types or other profiles. So system basically picks based on date of birth and location pages that only customer can see. So this is how the automation happens. So the sequence of the events is when customer visits your website, generates the chart, chart sends the data to you to your marketing, for example, newsletter platform for the marketing purposes, and also customer access their chart result where they can see the summary. And then all the reports that you will build will be listed as the widgets. Again, you can customize the design, upload the thumbnails that I have here to make it more attractive. And then you're giving an opportunity for customer to purchase the report or to download it if it's free. So this is like a complete integration. And as I said, just let's repeat that maybe starting, if you're very cautious about the colors and the design, then maybe quickly build your design in your branding colors, then integrate it into the website, connect that app into so that you collect the leads to the app straight away. Now, if you're not, or if you struggle to make up your mind which app, for example, newsletter app to choose, bear in mind that this leads, as long as your design has the email field enabled, leads are still collecting at the statistics for 90 days, which you can export. And majority of the newsletter or data storage apps have import options. So you can import you basically have 3 months to make up your mind and collect the leads to the statistics and then import it manually. However, statistics does not capture additional information which app is capable to collect, such as their type, the link to the chart. Yes, you can click and open the customer's chart here, but this link is not stored basically here, or you cannot export the link to actually import later at the app. So this tool is more for you to double check, okay, if, for example, I see that my integration is active and I see constant subscription generations at my website, or if I see that there are constant sales here for the reports. So that means people visiting the chart calculator, people buying the reports. But for instance, also it's very good to keep an eye on the statistics. If you see that I am generating the leads, but my MailChimp, which I connected, for example, today, does not receive any leads. This is a good indicator that something is wrong with the app connection. It failed. Either I deleted something, or maybe, I don't know, there is an issue with it. Same with the reports. If I see that the sales are captured, but I'm not getting money, something is not quite right. That means something maybe with the payment app setup, or something with the webhook, or something. It's good to keep an eye, because if there is a mismatch with your actual income or the lead collection and the statistics, it's a good indication that something, whether it's payment or newsletter or data collection app, failed and something is not working quite right. Apart from that, obviously Bodygraph has more tools to offer, such as the backend chart calculator, where you can create the profiles for the customer. When you do the readings, for example, this profile will allow you to switch between astrology, traditional human design, charts, run the same exact reports that you have at the reading reports automatically generated here, so you can manually download it, send it for customer, run the relationships between the two profiles. So it's a little back-end tool which will allow you to run the charts manually. Also, we have a presentation tool, and this is really a handy tool when you do group readings, or maybe you make for example, recordings for the social media and you want to demonstrate. You say like, okay, guys, when you have this center defined or undefined, so actually you can make the screenshots as well for your social media, your books, your leaflets, or whatever you're preparing. Or if you do the group readings, maybe you want to invite them to generate a chart at your website first, and whilst you actually presenting, they can look into their own chart and see easily if they actually have that activation or not. So this is really a valuable tool to use. So this is the end of the onboarding. Now we have quite a few minutes for the questions, and feel free to either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type the question into the chat and I will be more than happy to answer it. Okay, so yes, Nicolette, if you're driving, please be safe. Yes, you will find the recording at our YouTube channel of this onboarding, and also feel free to email me to support@bodygraphchat.com. I can share the link to the recording as well as the link to my calendar where you can schedule the one-to-one session as well. As I said, feel free to go ahead and schedule that session with me if you still feel that you need one, because one-to-one sessions are more customized. I'm asking specifically about your business, about your niche, and sharing the best tips, tricks, and practices specifically for you, based on the answers to my questions that I give. Or if you need other advice, technical support, feel free. There is an email, there is a live chat. Give us a shout and we will be more than happy to help.
So
Ruth?
if we have, like, right now I've got the free subscription and I'm just trying it out. I sell readings through Stan Store right now. And so I was wanting to use the free website. That's the free WordPress website. Is there something that like walks you through how to do that, or is it pretty?
We have it, the guides. So if you will go to the help center, there is an entire group that is dedicated for the business website only. So it starts from everything: installation, how to set with payment method, because the business website that is included in a subscription is the entirely different world from the integration. This is exactly business website that I integrated the chart today, just an additional page that I created. Business website comes pre-designed, but with limited customization, for example, availability. This chart is not the same as the embed code, and this chart, for example, if connected with a newsletter app, does not collect the chart URLs. It does collect the lead and the data about the customer. It does not generate the URL. Also, you can change, for example, the colors, the content, the images to yours, but the website is pretty limited. If you want, for example, to change the layout, maybe add the sections, then this website is restricted and it comes pre-designed with its own layout, and it comes with home, about, services, standalone chart, calculator, shop, blog, and the contact form. This is all that it has. Also, you can add additional, for example, pages. I added scheduling, for example, here, and embedded, was showing something for another customer another day, so I embedded my Calendly, Bodygraph Calendly link here. It's possible to add pages, but they are pretty limited in the design. As you can see, it's like narrowed down, and if you know how to do coding and do understand a little bit the development, because it's built on a classic WordPress, so it's not super easy, for example, design the website. So you might make changes to the design, but need to understand how actually to make changes. If you're using just the standard settings that the website has, then it's pretty limited what is possible to do with this website. But it's okay to begin with, or to start, for example, to experience the benefits of this integration. Now, even prior business website, because it takes time to actually set it up, to connect the payment, to make the reports there, because this is, as I said, completely different world, and all that world and setup happens at the back end of the website, and it's quite a few steps to take to actually make this website work. If you want to actually experience or have something to share with your customers to begin with, maybe capture the leads and have your own place to invite customers to calculate their charts. You can actually use the Podia's link, because Podia's link works as a standalone chart calculator. You can still attach your design, your language, your app to collect the leads, your reports there. It's fully functional. So if you, for example, will share this link with someone, what it will open the chart calculator, which will function completely. The only difference is that will be not in your domain, and that you cannot, it's not your design, not your surroundings, backgrounds, but it's fully functional. While you're building that website, you can start collecting leads and invite people, generate your own chart rather than guiding them to other, readers' websites or whatever. So this is maybe a beginning, that you can actually use that Podia link as a beginning while you're building either integration or the business website. And then whenever that is ready, just replace this link with the new link that you want to share with your customers.
Where do the leads, like the email addresses from this Podia, where are they stored?
They will be stored as well from the Podia to add the statistics. All the leads will be there. And if you will connect, just as I demonstrated today, your app, in this case MailChimp, that means all the leads from the Podia link will also be sent straight to the MailChimp. Yeah.